Jordi, with the pace that you guys started out with and when things were tied up at 41 at the half, just what shifted and in what ways did kind of the Spurs were able to go on that run?
I think those 3 threes that Wemby made right there shifted the game a little bit. One was a mistake defensively. The other one was a tough shot. It's the tallest guy in the building and in transition. Sometimes you got to give and take, but proud of the guys because we're down 17, we keep fighting, and we ended up down 9 and still with possessions to, shot a couple of threes where we could have cut it to 2 possessions, and that's the attitude that I want our guys to have is keep fighting, give yourself a chance. And right there, if you think it's just a 3-possession game at the end, and where are those possessions? We don't know. Are they early in the game, late in the game? We were 3 possessions away from winning it, and that's the mindset we need to have. Obviously, the turnovers were not good enough, 18 for 20. They're 15 for 10, so that's 10-point differential right there, lose by 9. So got to be better at taking care of the ball. A shot is better than a turnover, especially when if you miss it, you have the opportunity to rebound it. So, proud of the guys. Got to move on to the next one, learn from this game.
When you look at the first half versus the second half for Victor, just did you see anything specifically that changed? You guys held them to 4 points, kind of made it difficult for him. But in the second half, kind of what did you see that allowed him to kind of find his rhythm?
Yeah, special players make tough shots, and that's the reality of this business. And those things that you cannot control at times. 7-14, 3 for 6. Again, those 3 threes, those are 9 points out of his 19. So, I think we did a good job, and Nick really fought him. He's also very good defensively. His presence, his shot blocking, it's very impressive, and you got to get used to it. I'm proud of how the guys fought, and again, we'll watch it and try to get better from it.
This was the first time that Shake got to start this season with Ben out. What did you make of his performance tonight?
He was good. You look at his line with 5 for 9, 16 points, 12 assists. So, pretty good. Most importantly, is 12 assists with 1 turnover. So, I'm really, very impressed because he's kind of playing a little bit out of position. He's more comfortable when I play him off the ball and that I can run actions for him. I'm asking him to pick up, to bring the ball, and then to try to score and organize everybody. And so he's doing a great job. Same as Keon. He was aggressive today. He took 20 shots. We needed him to keep shooting it. 4 for 10 from 3. That's the mindset that I want our guys to have. And again, today, everybody had to step up a little bit, and some of the guys did. Some couldn't find a way, but again, they tried, and if you try, is all that matters right now.
Hola, Jordi. Bones festes.
Què tal? Bones festes.
És molt difícil guanyar amb 87 punts a la NBA, però d'altra banda també heu mantingut els Spurs amb una anotació molt baixa i especialment a la primera part. No? Com ho heu fet? Què destacaries de la feina defensiva, especialment deixant a Wemby amb 4 punts a la primera part i només un rebot?
Sí, jo crec que l'inici ha sigut bo, sobretot l'energia que hem tingut al principi, hem pogut córrer una mica i hem protegit molt bé la cistella. I bé, hem ficat aquest triple quasi de mig camp al final del quart, si no haguessin sigut 8 punts, i crec que això ens ha ajudat. Després ells, evidentment, han despertat, perquè és el que esperes de partits tan llargs, i tenint jugadors tan especials com el Wemby i altres jugadors que tenen. I jo crec que ens hem mantingut, sobretot mires a l'últim quart, 22 punts, 11 al primer, són 33 punts en 2 quarts, que a la NBA, com dius tu, són molt pocs punts, i l'esforç ha estat allà. Al final no hem tingut suficient, han sigut 3 possessions, i bueno, són coses que hem de millorar, hem de veure on podem millorar i anar a guanyar el següent.
Just with the defense, kind of after that first quarter, did you feel like there was a problem with either the rotations or the ball pressure? Or do you really think it was more about the turnovers that let them push the pace? Or was it more of a problem in the half court?
It's a good question. I don't know what the number is, comparing turnovers in transition compared to the ones in half court. I know that 20 points out of 18 turnovers is not good enough because it's more than 1 point per turnover. And that just, you get punished. Look at them, it's 15, but only 10 points, right? Our ball pressure, I think the guys tried. It was not as good as yesterday, and that's what we needed at the end, is to create more turnovers and do it one way or the other. And we couldn't win that battle. Obviously, we didn't win the battle of the free throws. I don't want to obviously speak about that, but I believe we deserved more than 8 free throws. But that's a part of the game that I cannot control, and I can just encourage my guys to do the right things. And for the most part, like I said, they did.
Keon, in what ways did you see the Spurs kind of go on their stretches of run, especially in that second half?
Really, whenever, I guess, on the offensive end, we kind of were second guessing our shots and was forcing some kind of tougher shots, which led them to getting out open in the break. And then we was just all over the place as a unit, flying around, flying to different guys, and that's just what got them going in that second half.
For you, in that fourth, you found your rhythm. You've mentioned before in the last couple of days just about continuing to just shoot and let it fly. But what was it that kind of got you going into finding your rhythm?
I think just getting in the paint, seeing a few go in, layups, and then just that first shot had felt good. And, just after that, it kind of transpired into later on in the game. But just the confidence that Coach Jordi is pouring into everyone, just continuing to let it fly, it obviously helps, especially for a guy like me, being able to come in and do what I've done tonight. But it's just a token to how Coach is preparing us.
Just in terms first of facing Wemby, you guys didn't get a ton of offense at the rim. How different is it playing against a guy like that, in the paint?
It definitely makes things a lot tougher, knowing that you got a guy as big as he is in the paint. But we kind of knew within our game plan that if we got 2 feet in the paint, then spray outs would be there. We kind of took advantage of it. But it's just hard with a guy that big in the paint trying to get rim attempts.
This was always going to be a tough game. It's the second night of a back-to-back. You guys are dealing with some injuries. And Jordi said post-game about next man mentality, but it's one thing to come in and just, keep the ship afloat. And then there's another thing to do what you did tonight, especially when you started getting out in transition and getting downhill. What has it been like this season to get the increased opportunities you've had and to see the success you're having on the court?
Just taking it one game at a time, one day at a time, and just continuing to just listen to what our coaches are telling us and what they want game in and game out. Our coaches do a great job of preparing us, letting us know where our shots will be, and just how we can affect the game on defense and offense as well. So, it's pretty simple for us guys, even though it's hard to perform what they're asking. But, the blueprint is laid out for us.
Hey, Keon, kind of a silver lining tonight. You had a career-high points, and Shake had a career-high assists. Have you guys kind of been able to play off of each other? The guard rotation is kind of fluid right now with energies. Do you guys feed off each other? Have you guys worked at that for a while?
Yeah, we kind of feed off each other. It just goes back to the summer, just getting a good feel of how one plays in certain situations and also how I play in other situations. But, it's a very simple game for the both of us, even everybody out on the court. But, it's easy to go out and try and score the ball, but just trying to affect the game on both ends is really how guys like me and Shake get going.
Having to handle the ball a lot and, initiate a lot of possessions?
I felt good. It's not an easy job, doing what the team is asking you to do sometimes, like picking up 94 and then handling the rock and trying to get guys in the right spot. But, everybody's unselfish. Everybody plays their role. So just tried to step up and help the team however I could.
And then you didn't get a ton of shots at the rim tonight, and, the team in general just missed a few. What's the challenge? What's it like playing against, a rim protector like Wemby? I don't know if it's the first time you've really shared the court with him for an extended amount of time.
No, I've played against him before. thing is you can't really be scared. I mean, and the way they kind of play like Milwaukee, where a lot of time they keep the pick and roll as 2-on-2, so they're kind of funneling you into the paint, and we're trying to stay away from mid-range shots as well. So if you're not able to get it up on the rim, a lot of times it is the kick out and the sprays that can lead to open threes or more drives like that. So, but also you got to be a basketball player too. So you kind of got to take what the defense gives you and play your game and be aggressive.
Shake, when it comes to some of the turnovers, when you look at the last couple of games, and what have you seen that's contribute to them, and kind of in what ways can you guys clean that up?
I think for us, a lot of the times it's simple things like we're turning the ball over on like fast break opportunities, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Like those are we gotta take advantage of those opportunities, or just being sloppy. I don't ever feel like it's us not playing hard or being locked in. It's just either not being in the right position, not being in the right position for your teammate, things like that. But I think we can clean those up just with film, and then we'll have a game in Florida a couple days, but then we'll have a couple days of practice as well. So I think that'll help us.
Jordi was in here earlier, and he said, kind of like to your point that it's hard to ask certain guys to do certain things they're not used to, and he mentioned how you're used to more playing off the ball. But when you look at the way you played tonight and the way you were able to basically be the point guard on the floor without Ben, what does that say to, say, your versatility as a player or just being able to do what the team needs from you?
I think that's the name of the game. I feel comfortable playing on the ball or off the ball. I feel like I've done that since I got into the league, so it's not really a thing for me or an adjustment. And a lot of times you don't even have to think about it, because if you're being aggressive, then the game will tell you what you need to do, whether it's take your shot or look to kick. And a lot of times I don't even feel like my assists were like me necessarily creating as much as just like getting off the ball when I needed to get off the ball, and teammates did a good job of knocking down shots, so it makes my job easy.
Shake, you guys held San Antonio to, it was a season low for you guys, 11 points defensively there in the first quarter. What was your thoughts of kind of the way that you guys defended the whole game? You end up holding them under 42% shooting. You guys on the second night of a back-to-back, a little shorthanded. How do you feel like you guys kind of competed on the defensive end?
That first quarter was everything that we talked about since the summertime, executing our reds, being in the right position, having a consistent low man. The ball pressure was elite. Second quarter, I think you saw us kind of revert a little bit and kind of loosen our grips of what we were trying to accomplish. And, we eventually turned it around, and, for us, it's going to be how can we minimize the roller coaster effect and kind of, be consistent throughout. But overall, I think we played pretty well on that defensive end. Of course, not perfect. Being low man or sink guys and giving up timely threes or timely rolls by Wembanyama to the rim. If you want to win games and win a lot of games in this league, those are things that you have to, be on point about every game, every time. So I think we'll learn from that.
You mentioned trying to strike the balance between, far as like either trying to get to the rim or get a three up instead of, being funneled into taking mid-range shots. For you as a basketball player, what do you think of the notion of either making the right play or trying to give the fans a good product as far as getting as many threes as possible?
It's funny. Some of the fans feel like, from what I see, they don't really like us shooting so many threes. People don't like the game these days, but I love the game. So I think the game's in a beautiful spot wherever you may think it might be when it comes to the amount of threes or whatnot. But yeah, no, I think you just have to kind of do what the team is asking of you for one, and then still have an IQ, still have a feel for yourself as a player, what you're capable of doing, and things like that. So it's a bunch of different combinations when it goes into it. But ultimately, when you're on the floor, you're just trying to make the best play to help your team win.